Today I'm speaking with Cristina Aleixendri, Deputy CEO and co-founder of bound4blue, one of the most exciting companies transforming maritime propulsion. Under Cristina's leadership, bound4blue has grown from a Spanish startup to a global market leader in wind-assisted propulsion technology. Their innovative eSAIL technology is already helping major shipping companies reduce fuel consumption by up to 40%. Just this week, they announced a groundbreaking contract with BW Epic Kosan for their first LPG carrier installation, a major milestone that opens up the entire tanker and LPG market. With over 40 million funding and strategic partnerships spanning globally, Cristina's at the forefront of the maritime industry's green transformation. Cristina, hello, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you for extending the invitation.
Cristina, congratulations on the major announcement on the BW Epic Kosan. This is your first LPG carrier contract and marks entry into the tanker segment. What makes this deal so significant for bound4blue, and how does your non-explosion-proof solution give you a competitive advantage in hazardous cargo vessels?
We had already installed our system on several tankers, specifically on the EPS, OTFEL tankers, but this one is a little bit special on the LPG carrier being our first one. So what we have done for these installations is that we patented a design in our technology that allows the safe installation of non-ATEX equipment in ATEX environments. So this is by placing the system above the zone 1 and zone 2 hazardous areas. So basically choosing, you could choose ATEX certified equipment, and we have this option. But if it's possible to avoid it, then we suggest doing so. And the reason is because it comes with a significant price premium. So without really delivering any additional performance or efficiency benefits, it's just a add-on part. So the only impact is a longer payback period. And that's why whenever it is safe to do so, which is the case and has been the case for OTFEL, EPS, and also now for BWEC, whenever it's safe to do so, we opt for non-ATEX solutions, which is essential to maximize the return on investment for owners. So basically, our eSAIL follows this philosophy. We installed the non-ATEX eSAILs, avoiding unnecessary cost, making a return on investment that is far more attractive. So this is the competitive advantage of installing such type of technology like this one that is adapted to this ATEX environment without not being ATEX equipment.
That's a brilliant engineering solution. Avoiding ATEX certification while maintaining the safety really does change the economics. Speaking of your broader journey, you mentioned you are far from what you consider true success, but bound4blue has grown from startup to market leader in just a few years. What's been your key to success, and what moment in this journey has made you most proud?
I think we're really 100% far from really success. What we believe would be success at bound4blue is making wind propulsion a standard in shipping. So going to the port and seeing all ships or major part of the fleet with wind propulsion, that would be our success in our mind. But yeah, thank you for considering today. I think that there's a long way to go, but we've made a good progress so far. So with respect to the success so far, I think it's thanks somehow to being a very tech-driven and innovative company. So we've always focused on ensuring that decarbonization is profitable for the owners and operators and not just a nice to have. And I think that's been key. If you want to really drive sustainability, not only in shipping, you need to make sustainability profitable. And that's something that it's core to when we designed our technology. I think that another key, so somehow success, which is embedded into the culture of bound4blue, is keeping the ambition very high. So we're very ambitious. So to offer a solution that not only works for one segment, but to the majority of the segments. We have several references on different types of ships, proving that our technology can be a solution for decarbonization of shipping. And also, while developing the technology, one part of, I would say, the success is that we have co-developed our technology hand in hand with ship owners and operators, and we're still doing so. So we still keep our eyes very open and our mouths closed, and we work hard to really adapt our system and improve it with more iterations so that it adapts to the requirements of the market. And at the end, I would say that this is also attached to another key component of our culture, which is staying humble and receptive. So I think that's somehow what's brought us to where bound4blue is here today.
I love the philosophy, making sustainability profitable rather than just a nice to have. And that co-development approach with ship owners is fascinating. Now, When it comes to the technology itself, your eSAIL technology is clearly resonating in the market. In simple terms, what makes it unique compared to other wind technologies, and why are the customers choosing you?
So, with respect to our technology, if the people think about wind propulsion, they might think about those of sails from the past, or even other types of new wind propulsion technologies. Our technology falls within this type of new wind propulsion technologies, not those old sails from the past, which are great for leisure and so on for sailing, but for shipping it requires rigid materials, high efficiency, high thrust per square meter, and our technology falls within the suction sail category. So it's a suction sail. It looks like a rigid vertical wing-shaped sail, but when you look a little bit closer, you see there is a suction area, which is a band full of holes where we suck the air. And this allows to draw this air through these tiny perforations in the surface and pushes it out from an internal fan to generate much more propelling force per square meter compared to a rigid sail. So this, at the end of the day, brings a high quality that is valued in the market, which is if you are able to deliver a lot of thrust per square meter, you're able to install smaller units. And if you're able to install smaller units, you have less impact on visibility, stability, less capex, even less opex, you have less material, and so on and so forth. So basically, this is the major advantage, having a very high thrust capability and also having it in the wind directions of high occurrence. So you can see technologies in the market that might offer these high capability, lift capabilities, but that are maybe useful only from side winds, which is not the predominant apparent wind directions. So basically, you need to deliver a high thrust, but in the areas where the wind will be encountered, where you encounter that wind. So I think that's one of the reasons why they choose this type of system is the high lift capabilities, the high thrust, high savings capabilities, but also on the cost side because of how it is designed and so on. So offering a perfect balance between both. So a great payback in return.
That suction sail concept is ingenious. Getting 7 times more thrust per square meter is really is a game changer for deck space. Now, as you've scaled from those early installations, you've moved from pilot projects to major commercial deployments. What's been your biggest scaling challenge, and how are you maintaining quality while growing so fast?
Always been very clear about what our strengths are. So we're great. We have for sure room for improvement in all areas, but we've focused our efforts on being great at designing the systems, working on the aerodynamics, the physics, making sure they integrate perfectly on board, that the performance is obtained, that they work fully autonomously. But manufacturing isn't our core. I mean, and we understood that as a company, you can either try to do everything and risk being bad on all areas, or you can choose some areas and decide to be very good there and collaborate with other companies that are exceeding on those areas where you are lacking that knowledge or that expertise, or you're not willing to gain it because it would not offer extra added value to the client if there's already custom companies out there that can deliver those requirements. So for manufacturing, for instance, we partner with companies in the wind turbine industry that give us the scalability, this quality assurance, and so we make sure we can deliver at a very affordable cost because they already have set up the manufacturing plant, they have everything lean. So if we started from scratch, most probably we wouldn't know so much about manufacturing, we wouldn't get the cost they have because they have already a full other clients they're producing. So basically they have already those economies of scale, and then the quality. And I mean, so there's huge benefits being able to deliver from day one globally, partnering with this type of company. So this is a model that we used to scale without sacrificing on quality and giving us that flexibility to deliver big projects.
Wow, that's smart. Leveraging existing wind turbine manufacturing expertise rather than building everything from scratch. And that partnership philosophy seems to extend to your global expansion as well. You're expanding globally with strategic partnerships and serving diverse vessel types. What's your approach to entering new markets, and how do you adapt to different customer needs?
I would say there's like two big type of well, not two, but three type of big partnerships. One would be the manufacturing one, which I mentioned before. The other one would be on collaboration, such as collaborating with companies that are offering solutions that are compatible with yours. So wind propulsion is not a technology that works as a standalone system. It's a technology that can be integrated with other solutions on board. And if we think about decarbonization in shipping, really we will need a combination of technologies. So bound4blue is partnering with companies to be able to offer an integrated solution to the owners. And one example would be on the weather routing, which is the most obvious one because we're using wind and then there's companies supplying weather routing systems. So we can optimize the routing and be able to deliver much more savings. And last but not least, there's also partnerships on the sales part, on really entering new markets. And we believe that it's better to align with companies that have this market knowledge and relationships to grow big. So we think that a single company will not decarbonize shipping. It will be a combination of a lot of them, and not only us alone will be able to expand wind propulsion just as bound4blue. We need everybody in terms of manufacturing, in terms of sales, in terms of maintenance, in terms of everything. So I think partnership is key to bound4blue, and even for shipping, setting partnerships and collaboration will be key to really drive this transition.
That integrated approach makes perfect sense. Wind propulsion is part of broader decarbonization toolkit. Looking ahead to where this is all heading, looking at the maritime industry transformation, where do you see wind-assisted propulsion in 2030, and what role is bound4blue playing in this revolution?
So according to the IWSA 2030 expectation, there will be around 10,000 ships worldwide with installed wind propulsion. So by 2030, wind should be a familiar sight across the global shipping, not just a novelty, not just something as a nice to have, but a must to have. And we're starting to see this big peak. If you check the latest news from IWSA, you can see how much order book there is compared to other systems. We're starting to see a big increase in the last years. So it's still a way to go until 2030, but things are starting to be seen. So you see this ignite. And how do we see bound4blue contributing towards this shift is having our eSAIL technology today, which is already delivering these solid results in real operations, and basically seeing bound4blue as part of this mix of solutions and being leading supplier in the wind propulsion side, but working together with other companies to really transform the industry altogether. So by making wind simple to adopt, we hope to really accelerate this transition.
It's truly inspiring to see how bound4blue is not just developing cutting-edge technology, but fundamentally changing how the maritime industry thinks about sustainability, making it profitable rather than just aspirational. From that first LPG carrier breakthrough to your vision of 10,000 wind-powered ships by 2030, you're clearly helping write the next chapter of shipping's green transformation. Cristina, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for the invitation again, and for finding time to have this informal chat.